and Noble.
Always good to see you guys.
Welcome
So
back,
happy
Noble.
to be here. I hate Texas.
Hey, I was going to say real quick, we're going to get to Free Legal Advice Friday real quick, but you were all pumped the last time we talked to you.
I was.
Got your tickets for the playoff, and then all of a sudden the Spurs ruined that for you.
I'm still going to New York City tomorrow. I already had the airfare, hotel. Figured it would be Game 3 of Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Knicks. My daughter lives in New York City with her new husband, so I thought we'll go games 1 and 2 here, and then we'll go to New York and watch Game 3. And I'll tell you, the ticket prices, as we talked about, just think Loud City, worst seat. Loud City, worst seat with an obstruction and 3 people who won't sit down the whole game. That's $4,000 just to get in. That's now $6,000, the cheapest ticket to get into that arena. I'm now going to go and stand outside the arena in my I Hate the Spurs shirt and do man on the street interviews. I'm like, how much do you hate him? Do you hate him as much as I hate him? So I'm still going. I'm not going to go to the game. I'm going to go in, but I'm still going to go to New York City. I fly out tomorrow, but I hate everything. I was on a Zoom yesterday with a Texas lawyer, and I said, I hate everything about Texas except you. And I was just being polite to him. I hated him, too. And so...
You didn't even throw Texas Roadhouse under the
Texas
bus.
Roadhouse. I won't even go to Texas Roadhouse right now.
Strong feelings.
I'll get better, but I'm still, my surgically repaired heart's still hurting.
Okay, so there we go. We gave him a little therapy before
Yes,
we get
yes.
into
venting, yeah.
Free
hurting.
Legal Advice Friday.
Yeah, we got to get to these questions. Our listeners always send us in. If you want to send a question to Noble, you can send it to asknoble@tylermedia.com, and we'll pitch it to Noble. The first one we got says, I really like the free legal advice that you guys do. And Noble, I really like how you and your office present yourselves here on the radio and TV. Speaking of TV, I've seen a lot of personal injury law firm commercials. How should we actually... or what should we actually look for when we're choosing an attorney?
Great question, because you are seeing a proliferation of more and more commercials
Mm-hmm.
as private equity money has been allowed to come into the space. Previously, non-lawyers could not own a law firm, and you still can't except in the state of Arizona and Washington, D.C., but private equity has very, very smart lawyers, and they figured out you can buy a law firm anywhere as long as you run them from Arizona or Washington, D.C. So you're now seeing private equity-owned firms come into Oklahoma, lots of Texas firms. So what you need to look for when you're watching a commercial and you've been injured and you want an attorney is, one, if you're in Oklahoma, you want an Oklahoma lawyer. You don't want, there's a bunch of Texas firms advertising. There's a couple Kansas firms advertising. They don't even have an office here. Your case is going to be handled in a back office somewhere else. Most of these private equity firms are often offshore. So they have people in some other country making $3 an hour that's ordering your medical records, seeing all of your private medical information. You don't want that. You want an office where you can just walk to the front door, knock on, and knock the door and go see the lawyer inside. So the first thing is, don't hire an out-of-state firm unless they have a local presence. Then make sure that even if they have a local presence, they've been here a while, that the judges know them. Because the judges are, if they don't know you, sometimes those close rulings don't go your way. Mm-hmm. And so you need to make sure that you get a local firm that can know the judges. And also, anytime you're hiring an attorney for a personal injury case, make sure you ask them what their history is. I'm shocked when people don't ask me, do you try cases? Because there's a lot of lawyers that advertise for these types of cases that don't even know where the courthouse is. Yes. They just settle the cases. Yeah. And insurance companies know that, and the values will be reflected of that. So make sure they're local, and then ask them their trial history. Do you really try cases? Tell me about your last few verdicts. How successful are you? You're not asking them to brag. What you're saying is, how good are you? Because the insurance company is going to know who the bad lawyers are and the good lawyers are. Very good question.
And if you picked a good lawyer, they got no problems bragging on themselves.
That's right. Listen.
Look at the smile that just popped on his face.
The billboard says McIntyre rhymes with winning. If it's on a billboard, it has to be true. They won't let it put it up there unless it's true.
You got to back it up.
So,
all right, here's another one. And this one, I don't know that I understand, but you said after you answer this on the radio, I'm going to go, oh, okay. So my child was injured on somebody else's property. Do I have different legal rights as a parent?
You do. So for when a minor is injured, there's the cause of action that moves forward is the parents have the claim for the medical expenses to treat the child. The child has the claim for the personal injury, pain, and suffering. So if you're an adult and you get in a car crash and your medical bills are $10,000 and I can establish it, you've got pain and suffering of $10,000, that's your claim. If you're a child, the parents sue on behalf of the child. You're both plaintiffs. The jury awards you, the parent, for the medical bills because you're paying the medical bills. The child's only claim is the pain and suffering aspect of it. So the question is, do I have a different cause of action? Yes, you have a cause of action to recover the medical expenses. Here's why that's important. If you're injured on somebody else's property, the only time that person owes you is if they've done something that's negligent. Okay, so you could get hurt on somebody's property and if you trip over a chair. It's not their fault. They weren't negligent. However, However, in every insurance policy, in addition to liability insurance, which covers your negligence claim, you have a no-fault provision called MedPay, short for medical payments. You have it on cars and you have it on homes and property. So if your child's injured and there was no negligence, your child was just doing something stupid, ran into the wall, you don't have a negligence claim, but you still have your medical bill claim, which can be covered under the policy, which is the no-fault provision for the medical bills.
Gotcha.
And so your child's claim may not be able to move forward, but yours can to get the medical bills recovered.
Okay, you're right. That's why we do this segment. I learned something today.
Yeah,
There
glad
you
they
go.
asked.
All right, so here's the thing. If people are listening and they're going, okay, I really do enjoy this, but I want to talk to you personally, let's throw it out there.
We have the Jesus line.
777-7000.
It works great. It works great. You dial that number from any area code, you're going to get Noble McIntyre.
It's just that easy. But if you're still a little intimidated, or if you just want to help us out with content,
Yes.
you can send your questions to asknoble@tylermedia.com.
I like that. We need the content.
We
so
do,
help
we
us out
do.
too. Yeah.
We'll do it.
Noble, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me.